she wrote a book at one point, and she said the two of you actually were dating at one point. Did that last a long time, or was that just sort of brief?
Well, it lasted probably longer than it should because I was married at the time.
You just turned 85.
Yeah.
You don't even look close to it.
I love you.
How do you feel?
50.
At 85, Smokey Robinson stands not just as a music icon, but as a man who has lived love and heartbreak in equal measure. After decades of silence, he finally opened up about a profound love who shaped his life and left an indelible mark on his heart. What secrets did he keep hidden for so long? And how did they intersect with fame, family, and forgiveness? From a nickname inspired by cowboy movies to the soulful voice behind Motown's biggest hits, Smokey's story is one of both brilliance and vulnerability. How does a man so deeply entwined with music reconcile the complexities of love and loyalty over a lifetime? The answers reveal a rare honesty that transcends legend of kept secret. For decades, Smokey Robinson carried a secret close to his heart, one that only recently surfaced in his late 80s. He confessed to a hidden romance that stretched far beyond the public eye, a relationship entangled with the complexities of fame, marriage, and loyalty. This wasn't a passing affair, but a love that endured longer than one might expect, even while he was married. It's a revelation that shakes the quiet image many held of the Motown legend, revealing a vulnerability rarely exposed. Smokey described this love not merely as a chapter in his life, but as an ongoing emotional presence, woven into the fabric of his personal story. The woman he once called his baby was no stranger. He had known her since she was a child, and their connection spanned decades. Yet, for years, the reality of loving more than one person at the same time remained an unspoken truth, buried beneath public expectations and the demands of his career. This confession serves as both a poignant acknowledgement and a human reflection on the contradictions of love. Smokey openly admitted learning that the heart can hold multiple affections simultaneously, a lesson born of experience rather than theory. It's a rare honesty from a man who has lived in the spotlight, but still grappled privately with the consequences of his choices. The impact of this revelation rippled through fans and fellow artists alike, challenging their assumptions about the man behind the music. The weight of this secret was not simply personal. It intersected with the pressures of fame and family life. Balancing these overlapping relationships took a toll on Smokey's sense of self, as well as on those close to him. He paid a price in reputation and emotional strain, navigating the delicate terrain where public persona and private heartache collided. The story hints at sacrifices made silently and the longing for forgiveness that only time can offer. Though the full dimensions of this hidden love are yet to be fully revealed, the admission marks a turning point in understanding Smokey's life beyond the stage. It reframes his narrative from one of flawless success to one that embraces imperfections and the complexities inherent in human relationships. More than a confession, it is a testament to the enduring power of love in all its forms and the courage it takes to finally speak the truth. This aspect of his life remained guarded for years, not for lack of feeling, but from a sense of responsibility and the protective instincts toward family and friends. Only in his later years has Smokey felt the freedom to share this part of himself without fear of judgment. The revelation invites listeners to see him as a deeply layered human being, ripe with contradictions and genuine emotion. In opening this chapter, Smokey challenges the idealized image often imposed on celebrities, spotlighting the reality that love and loyalty are never simple or singular. His example encourages a broader empathy for those who live with such complexities quietly. It also sets the stage for exploring the roots from which this love and resilience grew, the environment that shaped him, and the music world he transformed. As we look deeper into the formative years of his life, it becomes clear how much his early experiences prepared him for the nuanced struggles ahead, both personal and professional. Roots in Detroit. Smokey Robinson's story begins in Detroit's impoverished North End neighborhood, where he was born William Robinson Jr. in 1940. Raised amid hardship, his childhood carried the weight of loss and family challenges, including the separation of his parents and the death of his mother by the time he was 10. Despite these difficulties, the strength of familial bonds, particularly with his sister Geraldine and her husband, provided a foundation for hope and ambition. The crowded household, where 12 people shared a small space, became the backdrop for Smokey's early passion for music and storytelling. His nickname, Smokey Joe, came from an uncle who introduced him to cowboy movies, sparking a sense of adventure and bravery that followed throughout his life. This blend of imagination and resilience planted the seeds for the creativity that would one day redefine American soul music. At Northern High School, Smokey excelled not only in academics, but also in sports and the arts, though it was music that truly captured his soul. The inseparable connection between his roots and his art would become central to his identity as an artist and person. His early years in Detroit deeply shaped his understanding of struggle, love, and aspiration, themes that would bounce through his lyrics and melodies. By the mid-1950s, Smokey formed his first vocal group with friends, initiating what would become a legendary musical journey. From the Five Chimes to the Matadors, and ultimately, the Miracles, the group evolved alongside the rapidly changing landscape of American music. These early collaborations reflected the collective hope of Detroit's youth, eager for recognition and change. The city was not just a set, it was a part that played, and it was the breath of life. The high life of the Black community and the music that was going on in the background continually attracted Smokey and other artists to polish their skills. The hardships of segregation and poverty gave the artists to them and made their music very powerful. On a personal level, Smokey's multiracial heritage, African American, French, Nigerian, Scandinavian, Portuguese, and Cherokee, had an impact on his identity. The different cultural backgrounds made not only his personal viewpoint more complex, but also his skill of transcending cultural barriers in music more vivid. He became a representative of peace through art. Detroit was still a city of many faces, dreams and despair, destitution and invention, but it continued to shape Smokey as a person who was aware of both suffering and hope. His childhood experience was like a rock for him, giving him the emotional quality that he would later turn into a powerful attraction in everybody who listened to his songs. This tie to the place and family never got weak, although his career allowed him to go far away from the city. Smokey's roots in Detroit were always the core of his music and the source of his ever-burning spirit. Turning from these formative years, the stage was set for the birth of a music legend whose influence would soon echo across the world. The birth of a legend, the formation of the Miracles, marked the beginning of Smokey Robinson's ascent to musical greatness, a journey intertwined with Motown's rise to cultural prominence. Starting in 1955, Smokey and friends Ronald White and Pete Moore created the vocal group known first as the Five Chimes, later renaming themselves the Matadors as their lineup expanded. This evolution reflected not only growing ambitions but also an emerging signature sound. By 1958, the addition of Bobby Rogers and Claudette Rogers, who would become both bandmate and eventual wife to Smokey, completed the group that would be renamed the Miracles. Their early days were marked by relentless performances and a shared belief that their music could break new ground. They carried with them a notebook filled with songs Smokey had been writing since high school, a testament to his songwriting vision and dedication. A pivotal moment arrived in 1957 when the group auditioned at Brunswick Records, but instead caught the attention of Berry Gordy. Gordy, who would soon establish Motown Records, recognized in Smokey a rare blend of vocal talent and songwriting skill. This meeting initiated a 6-decade-long relationship that would transform the landscape of popular music. In 1959, the Miracles signed with Tamla Records, Motown's predecessor, marking their official entry into what would become a musical empire. That same year, Smokey married Claudette, symbolizing a personal and professional partnership rooted in shared dreams and challenges. Their life revolved around touring, recordings, and the pursuit of something different, music that spoke from the soul. Shop Around, released in 1960, was Motown's first major hit, reaching #1 on the R&B charts and opening doors for the label's wider success. It embodied the sound and spirit of Detroit, a small, black-owned label transforming into an American cultural icon. Smokey's songwriting set the tone, heartfelt, accessible, and deeply rooted in emotion. Throughout the 1960s, Smokey's influence grew beyond his own group. Writing hits for The Temptations, Marvin Gaye, Mary Wells, and The Supremes, he became the creative engine behind Motown's signature sound, a mix of soulful lyrics, catchy melodies, and rich harmonies. His gift was turning everyday language into poetry that resonated across racial and social lines. As Motown expanded, Gordy entrusted Smokey with more responsibility, appointing him vice president in 1969. This role demanded balancing artistic integrity with the company's rapid growth and commercial pressures. Smokey maintained quality during tumultuous times, especially after the departure of the songwriting greats Holland Dozier Holland. By the early 1970s, Smokey faced the crossroads between his career and personal life. Tensions between touring demands and family responsibilities mounted. After the surprise global success of The Tears of a Clown, he extended his time with the Miracles before stepping away in 1971, signaling the end of an era and the beginning of his solo journey. His rise began not only as a frontman, but as a visionary shaping the future of soul music. This foundation laid the groundwork for the challenges and transformations that would follow. From hidden loves to humble beginnings, and from band formation to Motown's peak, Smokey Robinson's story is one of remarkable talent, woven with deeply human truths. The journey continues as we explore the delicate balance between fame and family that would test this icon's heart. Balancing fame and family. As Smokey Robinson's fame soared through the 1960s, his personal life began to feel the weight of conflicting demands. Touring relentlessly, he spent over 200 days a year away from home, a schedule that strained his marriage to Claudette and challenged his role as a father. With 2 young children to care for, the balance between career and family grew increasingly fragile, forcing difficult choices behind the scenes. Though he initially planned to retire from performing to focus on home life, his responsibilities within Motown and the unexpected success of The Tears of a Clown extended his time in the spotlight. The pressures were immense. As Motown evolved into an emblem of Black America, Smokey's role shifted beyond performer to executive and mentor. When the songwriting powerhouse Holland Dozier Holland departed amid contract disputes, Berry Gordy leaned heavily on Smokey to sustain Motown's signature sound. This dual burden of artistic leadership and relentless touring intensified the distance between Smokey and Claudette, testing the foundation of their marriage. Despite challenges, their partnership endured through mutual respect. Even as emotional distance crept in, they lived apart for nearly a decade, officially divorcing only in 1986, though their connection remained significant. The personal toll of such a demanding career was reflected in Smokey's music. Pain, longing, and introspection seeped into lyrics that felt as much confession as art. It was a period marked by emotional complexity and the search for balance. Amid this turmoil, Smokey became a father again in 1984 to Trey, a son from an extramarital relationship. This added another layer of complexity to his family dynamic, intertwining guilt, affection, and loss. These private struggles became raw material for the introspective songs he crafted during this period, demonstrating how artistry often mirrored personal life. They also revealed the vulnerability behind the celebrated public figure. Despite his personal difficulties, Smokey's creativity did not suffer at all. Albums such as Warm Thoughts and Being With You, besides being late releases, kept the same genuine spirit throughout the singer's music, which had been so before. Thus, the audience could connect so much with the new songs. The single Being With You of 1981 climbed to number 2 on the Billboard charts, proving Smokey's emotive storytelling had not lost its power to touch people's hearts. The struggle between his public success and private pain was at the heart of this entire chapter of his life. He was the one that made the most out of his dedication to his artistry, getting rid of the hardships of fame, and thus love, loss, and redemption came to his mind. The emotional richness in his music became a bridge between the two worlds, allowing listeners to take part in his ever-changing story. Though he was playing more and more the role of a family man, Smokey would still occasionally find himself caught in the current of his career and other duties at Motown. His job as vice president required a lot of energy and a high level of resistance. Thus, he had to find the company's legacy, while, at the same time, taking care of himself. The place where those two roles met was where he took his decisions, and it was also where the old conflict between duty and desire continued to manifest. The end of this period brought to light the legend's human side, the man who sought alignment through the sacrifices of competing demands. Smokey's tale is an ironic one. The greatness that came with it was paid for with very personal, often undetected, and still very much felt struggles. With the advance of his life and music, a face from his past who had been coming back would soon awaken both nostalgia and feelings again. Reconnecting with a childhood friend from Detroit would reopen old chapters and bring fresh challenges to the surface. The Diana Ross connection. Diana Ross, a childhood friend of Smokey Robinson, had been a constant presence since their early years growing up together in Detroit's North End. Their shared history stretched back to 1954, when Diana was just 8 years old. Both witnessed the birth of Motown firsthand, their lives entwined by music and the struggles of their community. This lifelong connection evolved into a private relationship during the 1970s, a chapter marked by passion and complexity. Their romantic involvement began while Smokey was still married, a fact he openly acknowledged in interviews. Despite the complications, the relationship lasted about a year, fueled by both creative synergy and deep personal feelings. However, Diana eventually chose to end the romance, knowing the challenges of their intertwined past and Smokey's ongoing love for his wife Claudette. Her decision underscored the emotional honesty they both maintained. Smokey reflected candidly on this period, recognizing that his feelings were genuinely divided. He admitted to loving more than one person at the same time, a revelation that stands as one of his most heartfelt and honest confessions. This admission highlights the contradictions and complexities that define human relationships, especially in the glare of fame and history. Their bond transcended the romantic, rooted in decades of friendship and mutual respect. Diana remained a treasured figure in Smokey's life, described by him as precious and his longest living friend. Their connection is a testament to enduring loyalty, despite the shifting tides of life, careers, and emotions. As artists, their collaborations during this time were marked by artistic creativity and shared milestones. Yet, beneath the surface lay a delicate balance between personal desires and professional ambitions. The interplay of the two shaped both their music and their public personas. This chapter in Smokey's life is illustrative of broader themes: love, loss, and the challenge of fulfilling multiple roles simultaneously. It reveals the human story behind the music legends, one of emotional risk and the search for authenticity. Smokey's willingness to confront these truths publicly adds depth to his legacy. Even after their romantic relationship ended, the foundation of friendship persisted, weaving through decades of shared memories and experiences. This enduring connection between two icons of soul music remains a poignant story of loyalty and understanding. The intricate dance between public image and private reality continued to influence Smokey's journey. As he moved toward a solo career, these personal experiences would deeply inform his evolving artistry and outlook. Leaving behind the tangled roots of past relationships, Smokey transitioned toward a new musical phase that would redefine his career and resonate with a broader audience, musical evolution, and solo success. After stepping away from the Miracles in the early 1970s, Smokey Robinson embarked on a solo career that marked a new chapter both creatively and personally. Free from the demands of group dynamics and Motown's intense schedule, Smokey embraced a more introspective approach to songwriting. His 1973 debut solo album, Smokey, offered gentle tributes to his past, but did not achieve the commercial breakthrough many expected. Still, it was a pivotal moment, signaling his readiness to explore deeper emotions and new musical directions. 2 years later, Smokey released A Quiet Storm, an album that would become a defining work not just for his career but for contemporary R&B as a whole. The title track inspired an entire radio format known as Quiet Storm, characterized by smooth, soulful melodies and relaxed rhythms that created an intimate atmosphere. This understated and refined sound was a sharp contrast to Motown's upbeat hits, showcasing Smokey's maturity as an artist growing into his own voice. Songs like Baby That's Back in You and The Agony and the Ecstasy revealed new layers of complexity in his songwriting. No longer focused on sensationalism or fast tempos, he chose to tell stories with subtlety and depth, allowing space for reflection and vulnerability. His lyrics touched on love's delicate balance, joy and pain intertwined, which resonated with an audience ready for emotional honesty. This period also coincided with personal upheavals, the dissolution of his marriage to Claudette, and the strains of his complicated family life. Yet, Smokey channeled these challenges into his music, creating work that was both sincere and sophisticated. Albums like Warm Thoughts and Being With You maintained the spirit of A Quiet Storm, slow, thoughtful, and genuine, and were embraced by critics and fans alike. Among all the singles released, Being With You, in particular, was undoubtedly the one that hit the streams the hardest and went straight up to the second position on the Billboard charts, thus confirming Smokey's voice still had a wide-ranging appeal. Considering his ability to change styles without losing the essence of his art was quite extraordinary, and showed beautifully his resilience against the power of the changing music scene. He created vibes, and R&B artists of the next generation got inspired, who were after fusing the groove with the genuine emotion. Smokey's solo recordings were, of course, his personal triumph, but he was still connected to the Motown vibe, and during that period, he was the one who opened the door to the new generation artists and was still influencing behind the scenes. His understanding of the role he played as not just a performer, but also as a soul music heritage steward was quite strong. His musical evolution was so much linked to this responsibility that he became the bridge of past and present with an elegant posture. When it came to his personal issues, to be constantly adapting to new situations, Smokey still managed to keep his loyalty to the truth. His later works kept on showcasing the same traits of lyricism, melody, and emotional truth that had been his from the very start. Such an artist was hard to forget, since he became the one that grew but did not lose his core. The artist that Smokey Robinson was turned out to be not just the accumulator of his early hits alone. He was a very rare and deep narrator with such a universal touching quality that transcended generations. The transition period he went through was the initiation of the great legacy that he would soon fully be the master of. As recognition for his lifetime of contributions grew, Smokey's place among music's greats became undeniable, and his work continued to inspire those who followed. Legacy and recognition. In the decades following his early successes and solo reinvention, Smokey Robinson garnered a series of accolades that affirmed his profound impact on American music and culture. In 1983, he earned a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, symbolizing his rise from Detroit's North End to the global stage. This public acknowledgement was just the beginning of an impressive list of honors, celebrating both his artistic achievements and cultural significance. 4 years later, Smokey was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a landmark moment that placed him firmly among the pantheon of music legends. The honor recognized not only his vocal talent, but also his songwriting prowess and pioneering role in shaping the Motown sound. His influence extended far beyond records and charts. He helped redefine popular music's possibilities. In 1988, his Grammy Award win for Just to See Her underscored the continued evolution of his voice and emotional depth. The song, a tender ballad, spoke to a mature artist, reflecting on love's enduring power. This recognition was part of a continued affirmation that Smokey's artistry matured gracefully rather than fading with time. Recognition expanded beyond the music industry. In 1989, Smokey gained entry into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, honoring his unparalleled skill in crafting lyrics that blended simplicity with profound meaning. Critics and peers alike praised his ability to turn everyday language into soulful poetry, touching millions across social and cultural divides. National honors followed. In 1993, Smokey received the National Medal of Arts, the United States' highest award for artistic excellence, presented by the President. This distinguished recognition celebrated his role as a cultural ambassador, a voice that helped articulate the African-American experience with dignity and grace. It symbolized the broad societal importance of his contribution. In 2006, Smokey was celebrated at the Kennedy Center Honors alongside luminaries such as Dolly Parton and Andrew Lloyd Webber. His brief yet powerful speech, "Success is not just about the music, it's about the legacy you leave," captured his philosophy and resonated widely. It expressed the essence of his career, an enduring influence that transcended hits and fame. Even as the years passed, Smokey's creative spirit remained unbroken. Albums like Love, Smokey, Intimate, Timeless Love, and Time Flies When You're Having Fun showcased his blend of soul, jazz, and pop, reflecting an artist unafraid to explore and innovate well into his later years. Each release reinforced his status as a master craftsman of mature, elegant music. Beyond recording, Smokey devoted himself to mentoring emerging artists and promoting lyricism rooted in genuine emotion. He became a respected figure among peers and protégés, known for his dedication to the craft and humility. His influence became an unspoken heritage, carrying the Motown torch forward. Through every recognition, Smokey Robinson emerged not only as a music icon, but as a symbol of endurance, creativity, and grace. His legacy stands as a testament to the power of truth and artistry, inspiring generations and reminding us that timeless music is born from honest emotion and unwavering dedication. Even as the applause echoed, Smokey's journey continued, transforming, evolving, and inviting listeners to join him in the next chapter of his remarkable life. The road ahead would deepen his reflections on truth and forgiveness, leading to revelations that touched hearts far beyond the stage. Truth, forgiveness, and endurance. In his later years, Smokey Robinson opened a chapter marked by candidness and reflection, finally addressing truths he had kept private for decades. His confession about loving more than one person simultaneously revealed a complexity of emotion that many hadn't expected from the polished image of a Motown legend. This honesty was not a moment of weakness, but a profound acknowledgement of human contradiction, a rare glimpse into the heart of an artist who had lived through love, loss, fame, and forgiveness. By sharing this, Smokey connected with fans on an intimate level, reminding the world that even icons wrestle with messy emotions and imperfect choices. Throughout his career, Robinson had been a storyteller who translated life's joys and sorrows into melody and lyric. Yet, these late-life revelations went beyond music. They were about reconciling a lifetime of experiences lived under the public eye and shadowed by private heartache. His willingness to confront his mistakes and vulnerabilities showed a maturity that deepened his legacy, transforming it from one of pure musical mastery into one of emotional truth. It underscored a universal lesson, one he seemed to live by, that forgiveness, particularly of oneself, is essential for peace and continued growth. Smokey's resilience became apparent not only in his words, but in his work. Past the age of 80, he continued to write, record, and perform, defying the limitations often associated with aging artists. He approached his art with the same curiosity and fire that fueled him in the 1960s, but now with the calm wisdom that comes only from experience. Albums released in recent years, such as What the World Needs Now, carried themes of hope, reflection, and renewal, proof that music has no expiration date. His voice, still soft, smooth, and instantly recognizable, held the texture of time, each note layered with decades of triumph, regret, and tenderness. When Smokey sang, it wasn't just nostalgia, it was communion. He invited listeners to share in the hard-earned lessons of a man who had seen it all and still chose love. Even when controversy and legal challenges arose, Smokey met them with composure, never allowing adversity to dim his creative flame. Lesser artists might have withdrawn, but Smokey pressed forward with grace and gratitude. He continued touring, mentoring, and recording, becoming a living symbol of endurance and humility. Those who knew him described him as a man of balance, rooted, kind, and deeply respectful of the craft that had shaped his life. His endurance was not merely physical, but spiritual, sustained by faith and an unwavering belief in truth through music. His relationships reflected this same theme of endurance. His long marriage to Claudette, their respectful separation, and his later partnership with Frances Gladney revealed a man continually seeking peace amid life's turbulence. Frances, whom Smokey once described as his calm after the storm, grounded him in his later years. Their quiet union became a testament to the serenity that comes when fame fades, but love remains. Smokey's life, both in music and in love, teaches that forgiveness and truth are the keys to lasting peace. The contradictions he revealed were not mere confessions, they were human lessons. His story celebrates love in all its imperfect forms, and the growth that comes from honest self-reflection. Even now, at 85, Smokey's voice continues to echo across generations, carrying not just melody, but meaning. He once said, "Success is about the legacy you leave, not the number of records sold, but the number of hearts touched." In revealing his truths, he offered not just songs, but wisdom, a legacy of courage, authenticity, and grace. Smokey Robinson's story is one of love, struggle, resilience, and truth. His late-life confessions and unwavering spirit reveal a man who embraced complexity and inspired generations. If you found his journey moving, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more stories behind the legends.